So the last cruise that we were able to go on was a nice Canada New England cruise out of Brooklyn. It was an amazing cruise and we had a great time. But we actually were on a ship that was the first time that we had been on this ship, and it was the Enchanted Princess. And we didn't really know what to expect with the Enchanted Princess. We did what most of you are probably doing right now. You just pretty much start YouTubing and looking to see what's the ship look like? How big is it? You know, is it modern? Is it old? Are the rooms big? Is it small? Buffet and all these different things. So we thought we'd do a quick video just to kind of give the quick details to somebody that might be researching a little more about taking the Enchanted Princess on a cruise. First of all, the Enchanted Princess looks like it was brand new in 2021. And you can notice it when you're walking around the ship. Everything looks new and modern, and it was a really beautiful ship. Do you have something to add about what your first impression when you walked on the ship? Or
just that it was new. The color schemes were very neutral, very beautiful. The materials used, like really just a beautiful ship on the inside, and it felt new. Everything was new and shiny and pretty, and sometimes when you go on an older ship, you can tell it's an older ship. Like the patterns are a little bit dated and the carpets, and you can tell. But this, like, you walk on the ship, the atrium is gorgeous, and that's kind of where you walk into, and just the overall aesthetics were just gorgeous, and you could tell it was a new ship.
Yeah, and that's where it leads into spacious. It was very. We've gone on ships that are maybe the same size as this ship, or you may go on a ship that they refurb and do all these things, but it's different when it's a newer ship. And you really noticed it on the Enchanted Princess between going through the hallways. Older ships, when you're going through the hallways, every time someone walks by, you're having to move to the side and let them go by. You didn't have to do that on this ship. And then going through the buffet, same thing. There was tons of space. They really utilized the space on a ship very well. And like she was saying, everything's newer, so you feel like you're in a classy ship. You don't feel like you're in some old dated hotel. It feels new, it feels nice. And when you're on vacation, you want to be somewhere that it feels new and vibrant and fun, and that's what I got. And do you have anything to add about how the spacing on the ship was and how it just...
Yeah, that's something that really stood out. Like he was saying, with the hallways, everything was really, really wide. They took into consideration the demographics that like to cruise there, and there was a lot of space, and everything was very open. Even for being like a mid-sized, kind of smaller end of a ship, there was so much space. And even the layout of the decks, the communal areas were separated, so you didn't feel like you were constantly in a herd of people walking through a ship. There were little pockets. It was just very comfortable, very open, and it never crowded, at least for the places that we liked to go. And
as she was mentioning a few moments ago about the atrium, it was nice. Like you felt like you were in it. And we've been on other ships, and I know most ships now, they all have pretty ones, but this one was very beautiful, and you felt like you were going to an elegant ball, and it was pretty, and it was just around the ship, it was everywhere you went, everything looked so classy and just beautiful. And man, I loved it. And do you have anything to add about atrium and all that? And
yeah, the atrium is gorgeous. I've been on ships where the atrium is like 8 decks deep, and for this one, I think there was only 4 decks in the atrium, and so it wasn't this huge open space. It was very welcoming, and they always had live music at the bottom, and so no matter where you were, you could always stand there, enjoy the music at one of the little eating areas. And then the water features were really nice. At the base of the atrium, there was really nice water features that had benches around them. And so if you were just walking through and you just wanted to sit and enjoy, like the violins, we could just sit there and enjoy it. And it was just gorgeous. The staircases were really, really, really pretty. They had a lot of spots that were really good for photo opportunities if you wanted to. And so the atrium was nice. It was small but open, which I really appreciated.
And make sure to subscribe and like this video if you like this content, or even if you don't like it, just subscribe anyway. What's it hurt, right? But that kind of leads me into around the ship. The ship had 4 pools. It also had 8 hot tubs. And what made this a really cool ship is when you go to some of these places that are gorgeous, whether you're going to the Caribbean or whether you're going to, Alaska or Canada, New England, if you have a lot of spots that you can take beautiful pictures from. And man, it was nice, beautiful sunsets. I like to go around and take pictures and
sunrises.
Yeah, and sunrises. And you could walk around and just take the most gorgeous pictures because there's a lot of, it's set up really well because it's more modern of a ship. Where a lot of the older ships, you're kind of going, oh, that's in the way and that's in the way. The more modern ship, they made sure to make the ship very easy accessible for everybody and where you can take pictures from everywhere. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the walking paths around the ship. There was games everywhere. Your typical ship, but it was newer and it felt fun. And do you have anything to add about just this, all that and all the...
Something I appreciate with Holland, with Princess, and I noticed it on Holland as well, but compared to other lines I've been on, the ship is laid out in a way that you're intended to enjoy the area around you. Sometimes ships are very center focused, where all of the focus, all of the venues are all facing inwards. It's all very inside. But with this ship, there was a lot of opportunity to enjoy the landscape that you're sailing through. And that's what I really appreciated is there was a lot of great inside venues, but they had so much thought put into being able to see out, being able to see beyond the ship and enjoy the ocean. You're cruising because you want to be out on the sea. And I always felt like I could stop at any point and look out and still see the horizon. And I really appreciate that.
And if you haven't been able to tell by any of the videos, we typically go to the buffet. At the buffet, usually, just because when I'm cruising, I don't want to wait in lines. I don't want to, and I get it. People like to get dressed up and do all that. It's just most of the time when you have a child and you're just wanting to get, we go to the buffets, and the buffet there was great. I didn't have to, I've gone on other cruise lines like MSC and even Holland this last time, and you're waiting, you're scrolling back and forth looking for seats. I didn't have that problem ever here. There was so much seating, and every single time we found seats and good seats, and it was great. And the spacing, the food. One thing I really did enjoy here is they had the dessert area as a section. So it wasn't in the middle of all the other food, because usually when you get that, you get congested traffic of people. It was done so well. And like I said, you had a whole dessert area where you're just completely like separated from the whole food venue. And it was great. The food was great. And of course you get everything that Princess has to offer on the cruise. But when you separate it like that, do you agree? Or...
I love the buffet, and for so many reasons. But I will go with the pastry shop area. It's nice because on other ships, there's multiple sections for the desserts. And so if you go to the dessert case that you're closest to, they don't have things, but you can see the tags. And so you know that there's other things that you're not getting. You have to like wander to the other opposite side just to find it. But with this ship, they have all the desserts in their pastry shop area. And I loved it. It's 2 rows, like side to side. And they have one section that's all like the sugar-free items. Then there's another section that's all the gluten-free items. And then there's all the other stuff. And so, yeah, the pastry shop was great. They always had cookies. They always had brownies, which is really important. And so that was really great. I could talk all day about the buffet. Where else are we going to talk about?
And things that you don't think about that you normally don't see on reviews, but the elevators were fast.
Yeah.
You go to some...
Oddly fast.
They were fast. You go to some ships and you're sitting there all... MSC, we sit there, you're waiting like forever. Mm-hmm. But with this, it was quick. Everything was quick. It was just new, quick. The elevators were fast. The shops, they had lots of shops. If you're someone that likes to shop, they have lots of options for you. Entertainment on the ship was good. They had good entertainment. They had music going most of the time. They have a coffee, ice cream shops and everything, just like your normal ships, but it was great. Like I said, the ship was great. The one con that I heard from our Facebook group that we were on, that a lot of people had, that we didn't experience necessarily, but I did notice is a lot of people had, their con was that there was always long waits for specialty dining. So you look at that 2 ways. A lot of people want to do specialty dining because they probably think the food's great, but then also it could be you need to prepare. If you're going to do the specialty dining, you're probably going to have some waits because everybody's doing it. I noticed like the Canada New England cruise, it seemed like everybody wanted to do the specialty dining. So maybe that's another reason buffets were so
I think that's part of it. That's what I think, because with the package, when you pay for like the second package up to get the Wi-Fi and the drinks, it comes with, I think, 2 of their specialty dining or their premium dining services. And so most people on the ship probably paid for the package, so they took advantage of the Alfredo's pizza, and there was a couple other in that package. And so everybody's congregating at these other specialty dining venues. So the buffet was completely open. We had no problem finding seating. And the food in the buffet was so good. I could go on and on about the different food options in the buffet. And so I think but that's why there was so much congestion at the specialty dining areas, is because so many people had those 2 included dining meals in their packages.
Well, and this is Princess, but it's also to the ship. The staff was great. Like the staff, I mean, our room was always perfectly clean. They knew just like they were on it. I mean, it was just your typical Princess. You can't even sit down. Someone's like, hey, can I get you something? Can I do this? Can I do that? All the food, everywhere, the food service, everybody was just so personal. It was, and I know you get this on Princess other ships, but this was even better than last year's Princess ship that we went on. What was it? The Emerald Princess, which was great, but this was even better than that. And we've gone on Holland, but this was better than Holland. And it was, it really felt like you're on vacation, and it was a great ship. And, like I said, the movie room looked great. Went through there. I mean, or the stage and all that, they had, movie under the stars, popcorn, your typical Princess, but with a newer vibe. And like I said, from my standpoint, I would give this like a 9 out of 10, on the ship. I thought it was great. I mean, when I'm looking at cruising again, I'm like, is that ship available? Because even our room, I liked it. It just felt clean and new. It's like when you go to a hotel and something's new and you're like, man, this is nice, and it's modern. You're not, you don't have the old, vibe in there.
Well, it's not like you go to an old janky hotel and all that they've done is like changed out the bedding. Yeah. You can tell when it's an old hotel. This is a new ship. It's not just an older ship that they tried to add new finishes to. Mm-hmm. It's a brand new ship. Everything is all on the same level. So it's not like they're trying to refurbish it in phases. Everything is new and not wearing down in weird ways. And so, yeah.
Well, and you see with a lot of the older ships where they try to refurb it, but there's still like just glanky things in the way, and it's just, there's no space. And, even the gym, we went through there. It
was a nice gym.
Nice gym. I wish I would have went there, but I just, on vacation, sometimes I don't want to work out. I just want to eat, but it was a nice gym. I'm telling you, like you probably see in the videos there, it is nice. And everything was nice on this ship. I definitely recommend it. What would you rate it? 1 to 10, what would you give it?
I honestly would probably go 10 for 10, just because the things that I really care about, they knocked it out of the park. Food, amazing. Coffee was amazing.
Oh yeah, coffee is important on cruise ships.
I'm surprised you haven't talked about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was great coffee, but it was, some cruises you go on and the coffee's so dark that you're like, bleh,
or it's like
or creamer, mud water, and you have to drink it all day in order to have caffeine. This, after you drink one or 2 cups, you're like, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to hit these ports.
And it's the buffet coffee. We're not even talking about the espresso coffees. Yeah. We're not talking about International Cafe. We're talking about, you just walk yourself down to the buffet, you get a nice big cup of their regular drip coffee, and it is so, so good.
Yeah, and like I said, definitely recommend this. We could talk more. We did stay the first time ever on the Lido deck. What'd you think of that?
It's not my first time on the Lido deck. I had done this once before. I enjoy it. I want to know your opinion now that you've stayed on a cabin on a Lido deck. What are your thoughts? Because it's sometimes controversial. I want to see what you say.
I like staying on the Lido deck. It has its pros and cons. So the pros is you walk right out your door and there's food. But that's also a con, because you walk right outside your door and there's food. So it made it easy to go to Lido. You just go right out your door, walk down a hallway, go by the pool, and there you are. There's food. So pros and cons, of course.
Well, and also to consider, our cabin was on the Lido deck, but not on the half where the buffet was. So there was the buffet, there's the pool, and then there was cabins at the front. We had a cabin at the front on the Lido deck. So we didn't have to deal with the noise from the buffet. There wasn't a lot of pool noise either. So that's something to consider. I've been on a Lido deck really close to a very active pool, and you could hear the noise. But with the way this ship was laid out, which Princess did an amazing job creating and laying out their ship, our cabin had zero noise from the Lido deck, with all the benefits of being on the Lido deck.
When the last thing I want to add is the kids club was amazing. Our child had a great time. The staff did a great job.
They did a really good job, given there were not a lot of kids, so they got a lot of time one-on-one with the kids.
Yeah, our kid gets to travel more than a lot of kids because he does, online school with us, and he gets to do it, so he gets to travel more. But the con is also he gets to go on cruises when there's not too many kids that are on cruises. But Princess did a great job on making him feel appreciated and giving him great things to do. And the pro is they're great and the staff's great. The con on that is, of course, they've changed their hours and timing where they're not available all the time when they're at port. Where last year they were, this year they have certain time frames where the children, are not able to go into the kids club when you're in port.
Yeah, that was something interesting. On the Emerald Princess, the kids club offered food service for the kids. So they would actually walk at lunch or at dinner. They would walk all of the kids to the buffet and help them get their food. They didn't do that on this one, but I wonder if it's because there were less kids.
It could have been.
So I wonder when they have more kids if they offer more services and more longer time blocks. But there was only like 5 kids in his entire age group, and so it was a little bit restricted.
Yeah, so overall, we definitely recommend the Enchanted Princess. And like I said, if you like content like this, or even if you don't like it, just make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. We hope to get more videos out there when we go on cruises, and just maybe little tidbits of information that could help other people out. And you notice if you leave a comment and you have a question about things, please, we'll answer the best that we can to help you out on your trip, because I know when I'm looking to cruise, or if I have a question, I think it's the worst thing if you're like, hey, what about this? And no one ever responds to you, and you're like, a month goes by and then they're like, no response. So please, if you have something, you're on a cruise, going somewhere that we've been, or something we can help you out on, leave a comment. But thanks for watching.